What is going on today, and welcome to the Pokemon Draft Dynasty Draft League. This week, the Opaloosa Roaring Moons are facing Coach Jack, aka Gravy, the coach of the Vancouver Titans. This week is huge because if we can pick up a win this week, we are sitting in a really good spot in playoffs since we are coming off of a huge win last week. Let's try to look at the team that's going to do that. First, we have Big Z, the Iron Bundle. We're bringing Booster Energy this week with the Cork Drive ability to boost his speed, and we're running Hydro Pump, Freeze Dry, Encore, and Substitute. This is just to try to outspeed everything like Dragapult, Torn, any kind of Scarfer that wants to try to revenge us and get behind a sub. And we can encore things like Umbreon into Wish or any kind of support move and things like Mudsdale into Earthquake. This is to try and let us get a sub up, that way we can just wreak havoc on the team and hopefully pick up some kills. Next is Lenny the Garchomp. We're actually bringing Habanberry this week with Rough Skin, Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Dragon Tail, and Draco Meteor. We are just fast enough to outspeed the next slowest thing, and we're bringing Haban to hopefully try to beat out a lead Dragapult. Hazard versus his team is really good because his only removal is Mortal Spin Glamora, which we are going to be able to block. So I plan on leading with Garchomp and trying to get rocks up, and if he does lead the Dragapult thinking that he is safe to Draco Meteor, then we can just Draco Meteor right back and swap that kill, and then we'll be sitting in a really good spot. Next is Blue Mario, the Thunder Asterion with the heavy duty boots and Volt Absorb. We're running Agility, Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, and Focus Blast just because it hits most of the team. Next is 2 Chainsaws, the Low Kicks. We're running the heavy duty boots this week with obviously the Tinted Lens, running Leech Life, Throat Chop, Swords Dance, and Sucker Punch. This is actually the first week I think we're bringing Swords Dance, but if you look at it, Swords Dance, Sucker Punch really does a number to his team once we get some chip on Azumarill. We're running just enough speed to outspeed things like Meloetta and hopefully get the sweep in this game at the end game. Next is actually a new member to the team. We actually traded our fun-sized Tigaton for our supersized Copperajah. We're holding the Toxic Orb with Heavy Metal this week with Heavy Slam, Superpower, Fling, and Whirlwind. Fling is to just catch the Mudsdale because the Mudsdale can come in on this every single time and stop us from doing whatever we want to do. So we've got the Fling Toxic Orb just to toxic that, and then Whirlwind is for the Magneton because I'm pretty sure it's coming, and if it does, any kind of Magnet Rise Iron Defense set is really annoying for us to deal with, so we're just Whirlwind for that, and that is the reason that I'm Superpower over EQ. We're running a Spadef set, that way we can just really take some hits from like Special Dragapult and Meloetta. And then last is Helicopter the Bramblegast with almost the exact same set that we ran in week 2, Eject Button with the Wind Rider ability because Tornado Asterion cannot touch us unless it runs Air Slash, with Spikes, Leech Seed, Shadow Sneak, Power Whip. And like again I said, Hazards versus his team are really good, and that is one of the reasons that I'm bringing Bramblegast today, because Spikes are so insanely valuable versus the team. So that is the team. Would you have done anything differently? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Only about 30% of the people that are watching my videos subscribe, so just check it. If you're not subscribed, it's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you want to. So let's get into the battle. Alright, we do see our opponent brought the Magneton, the Mudsdale, the Umbreon, the Dragapult, the Azumarill, and the Meloetta. So there's no Tornadus, which is really good for us because Torn actually give us a few problems, especially if the Bramblegast went down. So, like I said, I'm just going to lead Lenny the Garchomp and see what they lead, and they actually end up leading the Magneton, so this is really good for us because we're going to be able to get rocks up here immediately and pretty much keep them up the entire game because there was also no Glamora on their side of the field. So they withdraw right into Mudsdale, we get the rocks up, and this isn't horrible for us because we are a special Garchomp, so we're not going to be giving it the stamina boosts don't really matter, but I'm going to switch right out into the Bramblegast anyways, just because Bramblegast is now kind of here for the Mudsdale since Tornadus isn't here. And we're going to see that they do double right into their Umbreon, which is not great for us, but I do feel like the Spike is pretty valuable here, and they do go for the foul play. So we actually go down, which maybe was actually a pretty bad move on my part. I think I should have saved it, but kind of value that Spike, and I think we're still in a okay position, and now we can just go right into the Copperajah and try to bait the Mudsdale into coming in and click Fling, and they do switch right into the Mudsdale and we get the Fling off, and then we get the Poison off. So that is huge for us because now things like Low Kicks and things like Garchomp are going to have a lot easier time breaking this Mudsdale because of this ability right here, which is Stamina, and it's so hard to break through with Stamina. So we go into our Iron Bundle here, and they set up the Stealth Rock, which is actually pretty good for us because that means we're not going to be taking any Stealth Rock damage. And I doubt they're going to keep this Mudsdale in, so I'm going to substitute here to try to get a little bit of advantage on them with my Iron Bundle because trying to predict with Hydro Pump and Ice Beam and stuff is not fun, so I don't have to predict as heavily if I'm sitting behind a sub. And they do switch right into the Meloetta as we get up the substitute, and I'm just going to click Hydro Pump. And this is just sad. It's just It's just sad damage all around. That was about 15%. That's how much that Hydro Pump did, was about 15%. And that is crazy coming from a Pokemon that's supposed to be one of the most broken Pokemon on the board, but it just doesn't do a lot of damage for me there. And we have to go right into our Carparaja. And right here, I am calking Tera Blast. I'm actually calking Tera Ground Tera Blast because I'm thinking that this Meloetta's Tera types are Psychic, Fairy, and Ground. And then they Tera into Fighting, and I freak out. But Tera Blast still shouldn't take us out because Tera Ground Tera Blast did it. But Tera Fighting Focus Blast does take us out. And I prepped the entire time thinking that this was a Tera Ground Meloetta. And now I'm in a rough spot. Low Kicks doesn't kill it. We saw how much damage the Delibird did. Obviously, the Thundurus is not going to kill it. And Garchomp's not going to kill it. So we have to chip this thing down in some type of way to hope for a Low Kicks end game, but it is not looking great. So we end up going Thundurus, and we're just going to click Thunderbolt here. Maybe we get a Para. We'll see how much damage we do. And it does roughly about the same as what Iron Bundle did. It did about 15 to 20%. And I'm going to try to predict the Psychic here because they went for the Psychic last time. Focus Blast seems pretty risky, so we switch right out into our Low Kicks to try to eat this Psychic. But they do click Focus Blast, and obviously we are Rick, so they hit the Focus Blast against us because people don't miss those against us. And now we're in a pretty rough spot because now Low Kicks is down, and this Meloetta is just ripping through the entire team. We have to go for Thunderbolt again. The Thundurus is going to go down, and then we have to go into our Iron Bundle and hope that we hit the Hydro Pump and kill, but they just switch right out into the Magneton as we go for the Freeze Dry because I didn't want to miss the Hydro Pump, and that doesn't do a lot of damage. So we go into the Garchomp, and this is kind of bad for us because once we take the Slash Cannon, we don't live through Haban on the Dragapult anymore. And if Dragapult would have went down, if I was able to trap the Dragapult with the Haban, the Iron Bundle actually probably would have been able to win the game because here they give us some damage on the Umbreon. So Umbreon's sitting at about half, and they go for the Foul Play as we just keep chipping down the Umbreon, and we click Dragon Tail just in case they were to wish there. And the Magneton comes back out, so we're able to click Earth Power again, which is really good for us. They switch into the Azumarill, and we get the Spadef drop, which is also really good for us. So had I been able to keep some damage on the Garchomp and have the Haban help me live through the Dragapult, we would have been in a good spot. But the problem is Dragapult is broken and it outspeeds even Iron Bundle. So we are just out of luck when it comes to this end game because we'll get one kill finally in the game, and Dragapult is going to come in and just finish us off with the Shadow Ball. And that's that game. Not gonna lie, I played pretty poorly. I prepped kind of bad just because I thought they were Tera Ground instead of Tera Fighting on the Meloetta. Obviously, if I saw Tera Fighting, I would have known Focus Blast was an option, but I didn't calc for that anywhere in any kind of prep. I was always calculating Tera Blast. So that was definitely one thing. I think I'm just taking away that I don't really love the team that much. I tried out Bundle because I thought Bundle was going to be some kind of crazy Pokemon, and it just has kind of proven not to be. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's Bundle. I don't know if it's the pairing of us together. I don't know what it is, but it just does not seem like this Pokemon is dealing enough damage to anything this entire season. So catch me running Specs Modest Bundle for the last 2 weeks of the season, and playoff chances are still there. I'm not super duper optimistic at this point because that hurt our differential a lot. That -5 hurt our differential a good bit, but playoff chances are still slightly alive. We need some things to fall into place, and we will see if that happens. But that is all that I have for you today. So if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.